All right, time to get this show started. Yeah, congrats on that exam there. That's always a good thing. Was that in a specific subject? Yeah, hope you like the new chat. Someone made that, you made that suggestion, and so I went in and changed it up. It was a good suggestion. Now I was just asking, yeah, I didn't know if it's like in mathematics or whatever you studied. Got a witch's cauldron for a beverage tonight. The continents. So that sounds like geography then. Geography, which is kind of what this background map is. Sort of a 2D mountainscape. All right. Oh, I'm glad you're able to hop on. I'm just going to be adding an enemy to my game tonight. Another about the body system, nervous system and stuff, yeah. Anatomy or something along that line. Dude, the body system is crazy. Nervous system. For Halloween, people say the skeleton is creepy. I think the nervous system is creepy. You put the brain on top of all the nerves, that looks like an evil spirit. A smart one, too. Alright. So here in the game, I'm going to add a little fire enemy. One about language. How many languages do you speak? Two? Nice. Well, that is one more than me. I have a friend who's learning Spanish. So, learning Spanish as her second language. All right. I need to add some enemies to the game tonight. I'm going to add a fire one, and it's going to be able to set towers on fire. So in this tower defense game, the enemies can attack back. They're not all passive. So I already have the enemy created, which is nice. And I'm just going to add some functionality to it. Seems like my lighting is really yellow tonight. What is going on here? A little bit better. All right, let's get into this. We've got the enemy. Let me find the folder. It's a particle emitter here. It is the enemy fire. That is good to go. So in my groups, I have... It's already in the group. So yeah, functionality is completely there. I just need to go into my events though. Grinsada, welcome back. It's been a while, and I keep missing your streams, man. Your art streams. How's the book writing progress going? Gotta say, I wish I had your fine art skills. All right, we're gonna add a fire enemy to the game tonight. So in my enemy spawner selection, I've got the shielder, the ice one. So I just need to add in another line here. So I'm just going to do a quick Control C, Control V. We're going to add number 6 to the random number generator. And then instead of creating the shielder one, we're going to change this to the fire one. Just like that. Then I'm going to change all occurrences of that. That's good to go. Enemy backer. And then the last subject of your exam was like personal stuff. The word community was in the subjects. Interesting. Well, sounds like you scored really well in your exams, so congrats, keep it up. Learning is, I would say learning itself is a skill. So the better you get at learning, the more you can do anything. Yeah, fine art. Which is true though, as opposed to there's technical artists out there. But fine art is it's the raw dog and stuff. Need to save up for an editor. So are you're gonna hire like a human editor? Is that what you're referring to? How much do they do you know how much they charge for a work of your type? And you just posted your first ever Minecraft Bedrock pack. Nice. Is that live on the Minecraft site? Nice, yeah. Well, hopefully you can get that editor then. Over $2,000. I'm sure it's worthwhile, but it's pretty hefty, isn't it? Hey, your crops are ready, Bedrock. Port. Nice. Well, if anyone's looking for a Bedrock pack, check out the Hey, your crops are ready, Bedrock. Nice. Well, good job on getting your Minecraft pack out there. It's a good first step. And yes, it definitely takes money to make money. Like, that is sad, but very true. I was thinking about, I don't know if you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. He's all about wealth generation, and he got into wealth through real estate. But he started by, I think he made his first real estate purchase on a credit card, which is fantastic for him. But it's like that doesn't work anymore. These days you need actual money because a credit card's not going to support some big down payment like that. At least no credit card that I can get a hold of. But obviously the more money you have, the easier it would be to do something like make a down payment or hire an editor. Or for someone like me to hire another developer. Dang, what book did you put on Amazon? In 14 days. Good luck with the Doritos. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of polished, quote-unquote, work out there that's not so polished, so I'm sure just getting it out there was good. All right, where was I? I need to add... Oh, go back to my events here. So I was looking to see if there's a backer for this piece. Enemy backer... I think it needs to be a medium, so I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to call it fire. Boom. It's called Dragon Vanguard. Nice. Is that an ebook? Is this it? Sweet. Look at that. That is sweet. An ordinary man named John Benjamin Camp is thrust into a world of ancient magic and mythical creatures when he discovers a mysterious artifact. As he transforms into a powerful being, he must team up with Farah, the last dragon, to face an unstoppable force bent on reshaping the world in his twisted image. With the fate of humanity and dragonkind hanging in the balance, John embarks on a dangerous journey to stop a long-forgotten evil from returning. This is a tale of heroism, sacrifice, and the bonds that forge legends. Awesome. Use dark mode. Yeah, I like to use light mode sometimes just to keep everyone awake. Awesome stuff. I'm going to check that out. I'm in the middle of some book I got at Half Price Books. It's called The Blood Mage. It's kind of a high fantasy, kind of a mystery solving fantasy thing. That's awesome. Urban fantasy. Is that backwards for you all? Here, let me... There we go. Yeah, so I like to do light mode every now and then also to do things backwards to keep everyone on their toes. It is intentional and not accidental, at least, in the least. All right, now I'm just going to replace some of these words here, and like literally to get this enemy working, I should just need to change. Actually, I'm just going to change some words around, and then this enemy is actually functional. That's how ready to go this is. And then after it's in the game, I'm going to have it be able to set towers on fire. Some of them towers. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it into some places here. Anywhere there's a red dot here is where I need it. All right. Oh, you didn't see my book? The book I'm reading? Yeah, right there. I mean, it's pretty good. It was just random. I picked it literally because it was a big enough book, and I kind of liked the picture. I do judge books by their pictures, which is why it's good. You've got... Travis has this nice cover art. Fire, 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 fire. Just making sure I didn't... let me double check that all of these objects are in the correct groups as well. Okay, I do need to add this one, so let me add... Apply. Yeah, Travis wants this game. I'm assuming your name. You don't mind being called Travis. I want to get this to a demo. So once I have all the basic functionality in, I'm gonna get a public demo going. I'd love to get some feedback, more than just having people watch. You know, get your hands on it, see things that you would like in the game, things that could be tweaked, all that kind of stuff. I'm working on it as quickly as I can while I do other adult things that I have to do. You know how that goes. You did it in less than an hour. Sweet. And yeah, the book I'm reading is Blood Mage. Yeah. That is some quick work. It's mind-blowing. All right. So right now, let's practice spawn these guys in. I'm just going to go to my random number generator for the enemy spawner. And I'm just going to set it to a range from 6 to 6, which is just the number 6, which will be the fire guys. Let me delete the ones that I placed manually here. And let me move... No, that's all fine, I guess. What is this thing? That's fine too, I suppose. I have a couple of these weird particle emitters. I kind of like them though. I can't remember why I originally created them, but they seem to spawn like a sort of wispy, chill kind of particle, which is kind of suitable for a cold level, I suppose. So now when I spawn the enemies, they should all be fire guys. Pretty fast. And my towers should target them. Except for that tower, it's targeting the coordinate 0, 0. The holy tower does. Holy Tower knows what's up. Except I'm not seeing any Fist of the Heavens. What about... All right, let's get rid of Arcane Tower. What about the Water Tower? It doesn't either. I did see a Fist of the Heavens, though. Oh yeah, I'm backwards again. Let's put me back the other way. I only do it this way because I'm facing this way in the screen for you all, so it makes more sense visually if I'm looking toward the center, but I think it's actually backwards compared to real life. Hence the book you couldn't read. Are you saying this background, my background here in the world, looks like a picture of the planet? This icy mountainscape? All right, Water Tower is confused. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the first one they added in here that has any sort of two-dimensional depth to it. Does it make sense visually at all? Like this, does this look like depth in the upper section as opposed to the mountain top here? All right, so that tower's targeting them. Which other ones target them? What about this tower here? That one's not doing anything. I need to make the blood tower still. We have, let's do the ice one. No, it's not either. All right. So enemy fires in here. Does it have... Wonder if it's missing some variables. Yeah, I want to find a way to add a little more depth to some of the levels. Some of them it's just like a grassy plain, and that's fine. In this case, it's the idea was to show, you know, more of a, like you're on a mountain. It's literally a 3D mountain model, but it's a 2D snapshot, so it's hard to, I can't pivot in the game and show more. So, and the lighting, I think the lighting is relatively flat as well, and there's not, that's actually a limitation. Since it's not a 3D game. But yeah, I guess if at least you know where you can build and where the lane is, because I can always try to highlight that a little more. That's probably the most critical thing, but I have a lot more maps I want to make. I want to put like 100 in the game, but I'm just going to do like 5 for the demo. Something like that. So the towers are not targeting the fire ones as much. Let me see. Apparently we're getting some northern lights here in Oklahoma tonight. So I'm going to go check that out in a few hours. But it should only be visible with a camera. Yeah, I mean, if you have any kind of pointers, you know, I'm always welcome to feedback. Will do. Okay. definitely always welcome to. I always welcome feedback because that's how we grow. All right, I'm a little unsure of what I need to change in order to get these towers to target these guys. Maybe. So let me just run through here, make sure I've got my coordinates right. So this enemy backer. Okay, this is probably part of the problem. Some of these still need to say fire instead of the previous one. So it was a copy and paste issue. Boom. Copy and paste issue. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Do some blurring and some dark. I could do that really quickly. Let me see if I can do that right after I finish this copy and paste task. Open up the old GIMP. All right, that should be that. Let me save. Bryce 3D. I never tried that one. Is it not available anymore? There we go. Now we're targeting. We're sort of targeting. And then the ice, there's a problem with the icicle real quick as well, so let's go fix that. That's an easy fix, low-hanging fruit. Nice. I like stuff like that. Was it 2D? I fixed these once upon a time, but I think I had the wrong version of the game open. So let's flip these around. Wait. Okay, now I don't remember. I think I need to flip the ones that are pointed upward. Because I think in this system, facing to the right is the default forward. All right, that should do the trick. Let's test that out real quick. It was 3D. Nice. Yeah, I used oh, what do I use? Flowscape. The name escaped me. There we go. All right, so it's targeting something up here. What is... I'm going to pause this and look at the console. There's something up there. Yeah, is the software... Did they take it down? Is it not available anymore? Oh, I think I know the issue. I think the back part of the enemies is not following the fiery part, the part we see. So let's fix that. That should be the issue. So we're going to stick... Yep, right here. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay. Save that, and then let's give this a test, and then we'll go fix our background image, or at least see what we can do with it. Sweet, still around. Yeah, so it wasn't, my towers weren't targeting the enemies because there are two parts to my enemies. There's the part that you see, and then an invisible thing behind it, which is supposed to move along with the part you see. The fiery part, but instead of following the fiery part, the invisible part was just staying at the location that the enemy spawned, and my towers were targeting that. But now it should all be working. So let's test this out. Well, they're dying now. So basically, anytime I say it's going to work, just imagine that everything's going to completely not work. $70. I mean, yeah, 70 is like... 70 is a hefty upfront cost, but so many things are subscription based now. So if it's like 20 bucks a month, then you quickly go over 70. So 70 makes sense. Let me check this out. So that is Bryce 3D. Oh, have a good one. Catch you next time. Okay, cool. Yeah, I should be on in 20. So you can do like shaders and Perlin noise and stuff. It's pretty nifty. I like that. I'm gonna bookmark this. Seems like the learning curve on that wouldn't be too terrible. All right, let's let's switch gears real quick. Let me find my background image here somewhere. Where did I put that? Nice, drag and drop. I'm gonna definitely check that out. I like the idea of doing that. Because the flowscape that I use is... It's more like you can do some things with it, but it's very manual. It seems like it's best if you actually import assets. But it looks like using the noise generator and such, you can really customize in an automatic way your landscapes there, which is super nifty. And okay, here we go. Somewhere in these photos. Oh, it's the first one. So let's go back to that. Images, flowscape. All right, so it seems like if I just... Oh, I have this weird arch thing. I wish I didn't have that there. Yeah, it really is all pretty much Blender now, which I'm learning as I go along, but I'm not there yet where I can compete with like the industry standard assets. So once I get to that point, I'll definitely be using Blender for some things, like for example my towers, but I'm all for saving time as well, which is why I use gdevelop for the game development. Yeah, it really is. All right, so ignoring the sides or anything, just this top section here. Let me make it decent on your screen. I'm going to float this and send that to a new layer. And then let's play around with it. Let's go to curves. So looking to make it stand out a little more. So the game's going to be pretty dark already, which could be expected of a game called Dark Tower Defense. But if I bring the darkness down just a little more, not too much though, so that it turns black in the game. I don't think that would be very helpful. But then if we do what you said and also add blur, so we can do filter, blur, probably a Gaussian blur, however you pronounce it. Yeah. Then the question will be about how much. So we've got, there's no blur. There's number 1. It's like an optometrist. Number 1 or number 2? There's 2. There's 1. And there's 2. Maybe a number 1 then, something like this. 2. Yeah, I could see that. So let me do that and then There's something a little funny going on here. What happens if I... It's like it's grabbing some of the white pixels from something. I'm getting this weird line. I'm trying to figure that out. I fixed it in the past and I forgot how I fixed it. Let me back this up. Let's go back. It's like I'm getting it already based on that selection. Did I move the image somehow? Maybe I did. Maybe I moved it. Yeah. All right. So let's completely back out then to before I physically drag to that part of the image. All right. So here we go. Looks like I'd already done it there as well. Okay. Now let's float that selection to new layer. I swear I didn't move it that time. Okay. Still a little odd though. No, I switched over to the GIMP photo editor. I wish this could be done in the engine. The engine does some basic photo editing. It's more like for pixel art though, and for maybe like flipping and scaling. Definitely doesn't do all this though. Okay. Something really odd going on with my selection. I don't know. Enlarge it slightly in that layer and put it behind the layer in front. That could work. Yeah, let's give that a shot. It's because of the blur. Well, that's interesting. I thought it was because of the blur, and I think the blur makes it worse. But check out, if I back this all the way out to before I, let's see. So let me just deselect everything. So this is before I do anything. And then let me... So here's my selection. So if I actually make the selection, I think that the line exists immediately as soon as I separate them. So if I just right click and then do the thing to make two different layers. So float it. That alone seems to cause the initial line, which is then worsened by the blur. So you're right about that. And it seems to be on both sides of the line as well. Both sides of the selection line. But I can still try the scaling trick. Let me send this to a new layer again. You know, the funny thing is I could put literally any background image there. I'm not actually limited to that lake. But yeah, I'll give that a shot. Look at those hearts flying. Thanks for the hearts. Yeah, we're going to do exactly that. I like that idea, Travis. All right, here we go. Filter, blur. We're going to go with a number 2. Not 79, 2. And hit OK. Then we're going to scale to meet supply and demand. We get much more bigger, then we're going to drag it over. And let's place that behind as well. Where did it go? Move that up. Let's make that. Why is it? That's so weird. What in the world? I swear, I encounter bugs I've never had before while I'm streaming. I have never seen this happen where it does this behavior. If the big layer is visible, then the layer underneath is not. Let me try adding maybe add a transparent background. Then underneath. So there's the scribbling on the actual background. Here's what I'm going to try. You think the blue layer is a part of the actual... That hadn't occurred to me. Yeah, let me try that. I should be able to do a magic select. There we go. All right, so let's try color to alpha, something like that. Now we're getting this, and then It looks it looks pretty decent like that. And then it's not perfect, but if I can at least get the general concept down, I can make more backgroundscapes like this. I wonder if I just export that, does it show a line? Let's call this blah blah. And I'm going to put that in the Flowscape folder. It does. Yeah, still showing the line there. So yeah, it's still just a part of that image, isn't it? So I just need a clean cut. So instead of doing that, the trick I just used, I'm going to just come in here and okay, I feel like anything I do manually here is going to make it worse. So bear with me. Let's do this from scratch, but it'll be quick now that I know what I'm doing. Smudge tool could work. All right, let's try that real quick. And then if that doesn't work, I'm just going to start over. But since I know the steps that I need to do, it'll be pretty quick. Let's try the smudge. All right, let me check the hardness here. 100. See what we can do. Little more force here. A little hardness maybe. So you're watching a non-artist try to do this part of it. So let's see. I just feel like I'm going to make it look pretty bad here. So I might just do the start over technique and do a clean cut. So when I separate the background from the foreground, I'm going to hard delete whatever remnant image is there. I feel like I'm not going to do this quite right here. I'm sure let's see what it looks like though. So, I mean, I guess that is what it looks like. So, I mean, like, to be honest, as small as the game is going to be when you're playing, it probably wouldn't be super noticeable if it's out like this. To be perfectly honest, but it's going to be a lot of smudging. I should have done it right the first time. So, let me discard that one real quick. And let's see if we can do this in 1 minute. Yeah, they won't notice it. But I think I can do this. Try to do this properly real quick here. Let's see. Now, that being said, since that was kind of a trial run here, that being said, this area here is background as well. So I might as well try to get that too, keeping basically this snowy part here as the foreground. So I think I'll include the left side here. Something like this. Oops, don't move that part. Okay, come around. Yeah, I wish you could too. I mean, if you ever want to make any kind of a 16 by 9, I'm doing, the game is in 720 by 1280. If you ever feel like making some backgrounds, I will not complain. And I will gladly test them into the game. I'm going to have temperate zones, fire, volcanic zones, icy zones, pretty much anything. Generally avoiding water because it's hard to make static water look like real water. I know there's a little bit there, but obviously it's super far away. So if it's super far away, I guess it would work. Man, I'm jealous. All right, so I'm going to, let's do the blur. Actually, no, let's do the separation. So I'm going to first, so I wanted it to retain the selection. I mean, I could put this into like a Google, like a Google Drive, and then share it with you directly. Let's see here. Are you what do you have a Discord? What's your Discord name? We're gonna get this this background looking decent. Oh, nice. You got your tablet ready to go. All right, the purple dragon. Do you want me to use the old one or the Swordmaster one? Yeah, it's telling me Swordmaster is not accepting friend requests. I'll have to add you to become friends. All right, yeah, let me try the other one here. Hey, welcome back. Just working on an image here, and Travis is gonna do some handiwork magic for us. Go ahead and add. You can try adding me. It should work. That will be. Let me pull it up for you. Yeah, it should just be Suave Essence, so I'll put it here. Shouldn't be any numbers. You didn't miss much. I'm just working on tweaking the background image here, trying to help the non-interactive background portion stand out from the foreground. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Fighting with Gimp here. There's the purple dragon right there. All right, let me drag the file in here for you. Yeah, it's giving me this weird little line, which really shouldn't be there. It seems a little goofy, but he has some tricks up his sleeve. So if his kung fu is superior and he's willing and able, then we'll just go that route. So all I really need to do is delete this blue, but I'm not debugging that too quickly here on the stream. So in the game, while he's doing that, let me see if I fixed the bug I had here. I did not. So now my enemies are spawning and dying. Why are they dying? So now whenever they spawn, they're just immediately poofing, just because I changed some text around here. So we've got enemy fire at position, spawner red, create the object, enemy backer fire at position, spawner red. Same thing, and then change the position to the backer fire. Is that what I'm doing up here? Yeah. Okay. So that looks good. And then we're creating some text objects, changing the opacity. We're sticking the backer to the particle emitter as well as the health text, the shield text. We're linking those together. Changing a variable ID for both of those. Then we are assigning health to it. Okay, let me double check that one. What is the max health points there? The max health points of the fire enemy, and that is on the backer piece. So that would be here. Let's look at behaviors, health, max health points. That's part of the problem. So they're spawning with no health points and then they're dying. Let's just set that to 100 for now. That might have fixed the problem. Have I checked out your pack? Not yet. Let me pull that up if I can find it here in just a second. Okay, there we go. Now they're spawning. Not too shabby. What website are your crops? I mean, not your crops. What website is your pack on? I know I went there last time, but I know you're not going to be able to paste a whole URL in the chat. But you could paste a portion of it, perhaps. Okay, the other thing I wanted to check is if this has the proper points on it. So we've got origin, center, and the front point. That actually looks good. Is this under the category mods and add-ons here? So yeah, I mean, it's sorting by latest, so yours might be there. It's got to be this one, huh? Nice. Yep, uploaded on October 7th. Have trouble knowing when your crops are ready? Well, then this pack is for you. It ports Vanilla Tweak's Crop Maker, but in 2D, since I don't want anyone to use behavior packs or that stuff. Had trouble knowing when your crops are ready. Oh yeah, same thing. Then looks like you've got the same paragraph a couple of times there. Then the marker is animated too. I'm not sure with what versions it's compatible. People need to get your permission to repost. Hey, that's nifty. Nice work, man. That's awesome. Good job putting that out there. Made it in mobile. Sweet. All right, look at this. Boom, look at that. So crisp. Look at that edging. It doesn't have that stupid blue line because I didn't get rid of the blue background. That is awesome. Thanks, Travis. Let's get this into the game. Let's get that in there. Stat. Right here. So that is number 6. Yeah, that one there. Okay, let's delete that one. Add a sprite. And apply. Now if we actually open up the game with all the lighting, Look at that. Your handiwork right there. You're invested. You're part of the game. Yeah, thanks so much, man. Really, really appreciate that. That definitely does... that was a really good call. I didn't think about using such a simple technique as a dark and a blur. It doesn't help the foreground to pop a lot more. All right, good luck on the phone. Parallax, I mean, if we're moving, but we're not really going to be moving side to side like that, so... But we could parallax if we needed to. All right, sweet. So now I'm just going to... What time is it here? 8:30? I've got about 30 minutes. So I'm going to not fix the tower targeting bug, but I'm going to work on having the enemies set the towers on fire when they get within range. So I don't have a super awesome sprite for that yet. I will need some sort of a fire particle. Let me think. I have a lot so far. I need to see if I can reuse any of them. Let me think about which ones I have. I probably need a new one. Nope, not a light. Particles emitter. Okay, I need... Oh, I know what I want to do. I'm going to duplicate this one here. It's basically what the enemy is made of. I'm going to drag it to... I don't know where I want to put this yet. I need a new folder, actually. So I'm going to make a new subfolder here under enemies. I'll call it enemy objects. Then I'm going to add that into it. And then I'll call it something like particle tower flames. And instead of, let's see, infinite particles, I'm going to make this not pathfinding. Okay, a sticker is fine, no pathfinding. Probably won't need any of these, but I'll leave them for now. Then flow of particles. What else do we have here? Particle start size, end size. Oh, nice. You added some desaturation. I can tell. It shows. It's such a good look. Really appreciate the handiwork there and for the suggestion in general. Because this was the first background I've added that had any actual background as opposed to it being relatively flat. That's a really nice touch. I'm going to add this flame here and see if it's just sitting there. What does it look like? It might move. No, I took out the movement. So, all right, if it just sits there. So I know what I need to do. I need to take that and change the spray cone angle instead of a circle, 360 degrees. Let's make it like, say, 45 degrees. The radius can be about... I'm not exactly sure. Let's say 6. And then, actually, maybe slightly more. Let's say 12. And then the start size will be slightly smaller. And I want it to face upward. So instead of a circle, it's going to face upward. And Just kind of working quickly here to get something up and running. You know, I can fine tune as I go later. So it's right here. Actually, for testing purposes, it might look better to put it on this light source over here. Right about there. Help it to pop a little bit. Okay, that'll work for now. That'll tell us if a tower's on fire. And so, yeah, let me work on getting that into the game. So for a couple of checks I need to do here. I would probably say if there are fire enemies on the scene, then we'll do the check. So that'll be right here. Let me add a sub event. Actually, just an event. So we'll check for the enemy fire. See how many of these are on the scene. If there are more than 0, then sub event. Actually, we can do, let's do another condition in that same exact one. So we'll do if there are also towers on the scene. So same thing there. So if we have both, then we want to proceed with our checks, our actions. So what we'll do then is we'll just draw a line. We'll get the distance between the enemy and the nearest tower base. Pick the object of this type that is nearest to the specified position. So the tower that is nearest to actually, I might need the enemy here. So I think we do the enemy's position to the tower base. Center X and center Y. Like that. Then we're going to draw a line. I don't even know which one I would use. We can try... Let's try the Arcane Tower one. You're waiting for this 3D pen. Going to be making plastic sculptures with it of popular characters and some of your own. 3D pen, nice. That's awesome. When are you expecting it? X position of the endpoint, we'll do tower base dot center X. Like that. Thickness, let's just say 2 is fine. Let's try that. See what kind of problems I run into here. We've got 20 minutes, 20 to go. Let's put a tower out here. Call in an end. So it drew a line, but it's not continuing to draw the line. Let's move this over here. Between the 13th and the 17th. Sweet. This channel here.
안녕하세요. 3D 펜 장인 선하고입니다. 오늘은 소닉에 나오는 테일즈를 만들 겁니다. 꼬리를 프로펠러처럼 돌아가게 만들 거라서 모터 크기에 맞게 도면을 스케치해 줄 겁니다. 사실 얼마 전
Man, that is pretty cool. That looks so fun. If you're going to do this, you've got to live stream it. I want to watch along. That is dope. That is dope. Okay, I was drawing a line here, and it initially drew, and then it was not continuing to draw. So for starters, I want to create a new painter object. So shape painter, I'm going to call it shape painter, let me think, flame, is it a flame enemy or fire enemy? I think it's a fire enemy. Something like that. Let's just make it a an orangey fiery color. Does not matter. It's not going to be part of the actual game. Clear the rendered image between each frame. Draw the shapes relative to the object position on the scene. So I think that's what we want. Let's do 2 pixels in size and apply. Now for those to work, I need to put it somewhere on the actual scene, but I'm going to put it out of sight. So up here, then in my event, I'm going to call that specific shape painter. Fire enemy right there. Let's see if that does any better. The first one is going to be Tonberry from FF8. That'll be awesome. Okay, that's not working at all. Let me go down to where I'm drawing another line and see if I can just copy the event. So my holy tower, I know that holy tower has one. Yeah, simple design. It's probably the way to go, right? Start with something that you are pretty confident with, but do that for your very first one, and then go more complex from there. And then Mewtwo would be that'd be dope. Okay, so right here, this is the type of event. So we're drawing the line from the tower center to the enemy center. So I think I have that order correct. So if I were to copy this and go back upward, right about here. So if I were to paste that here for reference, in fact, let me put it down below. So the starting point is the first object here. So in this case, it should be the enemy. So the enemy center X and center Y. 2 should be the tower center X and center Y. A line of a particular thickness. So let me check out the shape painter for the holy beam and see how I have that one configured. It should be right here. So I've got that set to do not draw the shapes relative to the object position, but do clear. So I can change that. We can do medium anti-aliasing. Let's see if that does anything for us. Do you think the Pokemon are quote-unquote easy to draw because they were hand-drawn originally? I'm assuming they were hand-drawn originally. Do you think that's why, part of why it is? Okay, so that, oh, I need to disable. Here's part of the issue. So let's reverse these. We need to pick the tower base that is nearest to the enemy. Let's try that. That makes sense, now that I think about it. Okay. Let's do a... I know what would make this better. I'm going to do a for each event here. So for each... for each fire enemy, then we'll do these things. Let's see if that does the trick. Pikachu is an oval and a sphere. Well, Pikachu needs to go on a diet. No, I'm just kidding. That's an oval and a sphere? Is that really it? Is my whole childhood a lie? Probably depending on like the whatever position he's in. Welcome back. We were just discussing the aesthetics of Pikachu and Pokemon because they're relatively easy to draw. Yeah, I could see that now. I'm gonna forever just look at Pikachu as an oval and a sphere now. Okay, so each one is quickly triggering a line from itself to the tower. And then they're not continuing to draw. There's also one other thing I want to do. I want to create a light source behind each flame. Let's do this real quick as well. I've got about 10 minutes now. So I'm going to create a light source. And these flame enemies are going to really stand out a little bit more. So let's do a flame. I'll call it, I guess, light, enemy, fire. Well, I guess that's it. The color, just a light tinge of orange. The radius of about, let's say 75. Is that right? Sure, 75. And then when we create this guy, not that I think these enemies are guys at all, we're going to create that light source right here. So this will be light, enemy fire, and then that also needs to have the sticker behavior. Boom, destroy when the object it's stuck on is destroyed, and only follow the position. Go back into the events here, then we're going to stick the light enemy fire to the backer piece here. Okay, and that should be it. I'm going to say the words. This should work. And now that I said those words, it's not going to work. Okay, it's working. Although there's one other thing I want to do. I want to add another one on the lighting layer, which will actually help it to pop a little more. So the exact same thing, just put it on the other layer. Okay, let's test that out and see how that looks. Yeah, if I can ever manage to catch your stream, yeah, I'd be willing to check that out. But I could definitely picture what you're saying, because I know you're talking about like when you draw the shapes, especially when you're sketching it out, right? Because you draw more than is in the final image. I don't know the fancy term for it, but when you're sketching it out, you have the rough shapes, which would be your oval and sphere, right? Before you erase the parts you don't want to see at the end. Yeah, the FPS is I'm doing that really for myself, but definitely in the final product, I can move that around super easily. So if I move that like to say over here, and then put like the word FPS in front of it, that wouldn't be a problem at all. That's a good suggestion. The UI here is very much a placeholder until I really decide what all I want to show. And hopefully I'll get those frames up as well as I move along. Okay, doesn't seem quite right. It seems... Let me see here. Let me try deleting this particular event. That does not seem very bright. Maybe it needs more radius. Pikachu resembles the form of a human baby. His chubby cheeks, fat thighs, and small chubby form evokes what humans find cute. And yeah, I mean, they did a good job with the marketability of Pikachu. I don't have a Discord server because, well, honestly, no one's asked to have one. But tonight, interacting with Travis and you asking about it, I mean, I could definitely set one up. You two could be my first members if you want. And make it easier to exchange files as well. Because I figured I don't want to create a Discord if I'm just going to be sitting in there all by my lonesome. So that's really odd. I don't know why it's not really showing on the lighting layer. It should be as bright as this thing over here. Cool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stand one up. And what's your Discord handle? And I'll go ahead and get you added in there or send you an invite. Tell you what, let me test this. It should be on the correct layer, but let me look at the console over here and see if it tells me anything extra. So there should be 5 now. So if I refresh on the left here, scroll down, here they are. And they are in fact on the correct layer. I wonder why it looks so dark. Let me refresh that thing. So they are... Oh, it's because they don't have an X and a Y position. Look at that. It's null. Yeah, I thought it might be the filter. I think I got the coordinates wrong. And the filter is on the base layer. So, you know, I got you, man. I fat finger text all day long. No, I thought it was the filter because there is one. But since I moved it to the lighting layer, it's a layer above that filter. So it should stand out. That's a good question though. So I just got the coordinate wrong. It doesn't have anywhere to exist. So I created... Where did I create these? Create the object light at position. It really doesn't make sense to me that it doesn't have an X and a Y coordinate though. Let me run it one more time. Gonna type the next message with your eyes closed. It looks like you typed that message with your eyes closed. So mission accomplished. That's how I type at work. Anytime someone is screen watching. I mean, when I want to look professional, that's when I type like it's with my eyes closed. You lost me somewhere in the middle. You're gonna have to work on the eyes closed typing. You did well on your exams. I know you can do it. Why is it losing the X and Y position? Oh, is it? Is it deleting outside of the scene? Is that part of the problem? No, it's not. How odd. Okay, I'm at time, but let me fix this real quick. Hopefully it's real quick. Okay, instead of spawning at that exactly, let me try spawning it at the enemy position. It's supposed to say, hi, how are you? I'm good. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I think the I'm good kind of fell off. It went around the bend. Yeah, Travis, it's crazy. The algorithm is nuts, but sometimes it just works out. Like every now and then I'll find a little channel that that is fire, and sometimes it just gets it right. All right, these are much brighter now. I think they're much brighter. No, they're not. The tower was shining light on them. If I pause that, refresh, scroll down. What in the world? Yeah, and I'm glad it did. It's awesome to have you guys along for the ride. It's exactly what I was hoping to do, is get a little community going. And you guys are my core community. Yeah, the environment needs its own independent light source, and it does have a couple that I've placed around the periphery, and depending on the particular level, I'm going to move those around. Right now it's pretty generic. It's just giving me some faint lighting, depending on where I want the light. So they're just draggable objects. But in this particular case, it's a very unique bug. I found two tonight. One was in GIMP, and then the other one is this one. And whenever I have a ton of objects that have a light source attached to them. But I haven't had this particular bug where it doesn't seem to have an X and Y coordinate, because I'm creating it with an X and Y coordinate. And it's the same one that the object is spawning at right here. But then something happens along the way that seems to remove that. So you're just testing out my my new chat box. You just like the yellow, don't you? Yeah, that's a good description of GIMP. I mean, you know, it's free, so I mean, there's a lot of paid programs with bugs too, but definitely you get what you pay for with GIMP. Okay, let me test something. Let me just put it at like coordinate 100, 100. Let's just see if they gather there. If they don't, then something is changing it after the fact. So it should be somewhere near the upper left area. So whenever, should be right about here-ish. Uh, yeah, GIMP is free. It's not too bad, but it takes a little bit of a learning curve. And then Clip Studio, use Clip Studio Paint exclusively. I need to try it out. Ibis Paint X. Used to have ZBrush. Oof, 800, man. Did you, did someone else pay for it at the time that you used ZBrush? Hopefully you didn't lose 800. Okay, right here. I see what's happening. Sort of. I saw them flash into existence, and then it poofed. So they poofed to somewhere. That is a really weird bug. I have not seen that before, and I've had a lot of bugs here. Let me try saving and closing out. It's probably a me bug, but let's close out and see if it's a system bug. And we don't need GIMP. We don't need GIMP when we have an artist in chat. Got it from your friend Captain Jack Sparrow. I'm not even sure what to think of that that name. Is that a joke, or is there someone with a handle Captain Jack Sparrow? All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure this won't fix it, but it's nice to hope. Yeah. Huh. And then it goes to nowhere. Usually things default to 0, 0. Yeah, I've heard of those guys. I've heard of those guys. They like boats. All right, trying to think real quick about. I mean, I just. Is this thing in any group? It's not in the enemy group. George, is that you? What's going on, man? Yeah, Minimap goes by many names. He's incognito. Corey is live right now because he's running late because he has a bug that he's trying to fix before he calls it a night. Yeah, George been enjoying the podcasts. Everything going well for you? The Quest Unplayed podcasts. Awesome. Can't wait to see them. Yeah, they all seem really cool. You have a good batch of people. All right, Travis. Yeah, you have a good one. And yeah, I've got your Discord now, so it'll be easier to chat. And yeah, thanks so much for your help. The background looks so much better now, and it's great. So you have a good night. Yeah, I appreciate the invite to the podcast. I want to. There are a couple things I'd like to do, and with the game, get it to a particular point. I want to get it to where I have a call to action. I'm not there yet. But yeah, thanks so much for the invite, and I'll definitely keep in touch with you. I know it would help. Well, I assume it would help to have guests lined up, and I'd be happy to be a part of your guest lineup. Yeah, tonight, Vikransada, Travis was showing me he fixed my background image here for me, and he also showed me he wrote this book in 14 days and made the cover image in, he said, a couple of hours, which is pretty dope. And it's up here on Amazon, so that was kind of a highlight. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Dragon Vanguard. Actually, and I can never pronounce your name correctly. Anik Enems did a Minecraft. Oh, where'd it go? I might have closed it. He did a Minecraft mod pack, his first one that he put up on the website. So everyone's creating, and it's super awesome. Hey, Corey appreciates any promotion assistance he can get. So appreciate that. Like I was telling these guys, I'm hoping to get this to a playable demo soon, to where people can help play test and help me identify areas for improvement. So since gdevelop makes it very easy to play from web, no one would even have to download anything. So it'll be super fast. I mean, I can make this playable right now if I wanted to, but it's too broken to be any fun. Not broken, it's just too unassembled. So tonight we added some fire enemies, and I'm not sure I'm going to actually squash this particular bug, but they are spawning correctly, and so they would be called in. And they're fire-like. The only thing I was trying to fix is they should all have a light source behind them, so if I remove the tower, they're kind of dark. They should have a light source, but it's actually going into the ether. We don't know where, and they have no coordinate. Their X and Y coordinates are null, despite the fact that I've assigned them coordinates. So that's kind of where we are right now. And I don't know how to approach that particular issue at the moment. So the only other thing is I have a fire particle that I want to put on the tower whenever they're in range. So I'm going to scroll down to my events here. It will be, what did I call it? Right here. So I need to add a comment here. Let's color this a little bit. And what I'm going to say is if actually, I'll do a sub event here instead. What I'll say is if the distance between the two objects, between the tower base and the enemy, is we'll just I don't know, we'll say 300. Pretty generous. Then we're going to set them on fire. So let's undisable that or enable it. And then we will create. Actually, what we need to do is create a variable on the tower object. So let me do that. Where did I put that? That is the tower base right here. So let's add a quick variable. We'll call it on fire as a Boolean, of course. Apply. Then here in the events, we will simply toggle the Boolean. So if that distance is 300, we're going to find that Boolean variable, toggle it, and we will set it to true. And actually, we're going to add one more condition here as well. So this will be if the tower base is not currently on fire. So we'll check that variable. So if it is not on fire, then we'll change the variable. And then we'll create the fire. And this is going to be called particle tower. What is it? I have so many of these. Let me double check here. I had put that under enemies, enemy objects, particle tower flames. Right there. Okay, so we'll create that object. We'll create it at the position of the tower center. So tower base dot center X, center Y, and which layer do we want that on? Probably we can try the lighting layer. Gonna stop watching in your console to continue with the thumbnail for a friend. Sounds good. Is Dark Tower Defense going to be the official title of the game? That's a good question, and that's part of my preparations before I try to publicize more than I already am. It's a working title, but it kind of describes the game well enough that if it's not actually taken, I might stick with it. Gonna keep chatting on the phone? All right. Yeah, that's on my to-do list, is to really finalize the name. I was waiting until I developed enough of the game to get a good feel for its sort of game soul. Not to be too artsy-fartsy there, but I think that that's going to be right along the lines of its soul. In terms of a tower defense game, that really does describe it, I think. But, you know, it's a working title to give you my short answer. Okay. Let's test this real quick. This should at least create the tower flames if they're in range. It's not. Let's pause that then. Let's look at the debugger, see if we have that particle on the scene. Light and fire. That's not. Particle tower flames. So we don't have any. Let me log a message to the console here. And let me see if the message triggers at all. So I'm looking right down here. And yeah, I'm not getting it at all. So it's not registering as true for the condition, which means tower base distance to the enemy is below 300. So the variable of the tower should already be false. So I'm wondering if this distance thing is the issue. So let me try removing that and disabling it. See if that was the thing that's not true. George, how was your week been, man? You doing all right? Okay, still not true. Interesting. So let's move that back. Actually, let's move them both out. Let's just see if we can set it on fire at all. Okay, so now if I pause there, okay, it is saying it's on fire and it's registering a lot. At position, tower base dot center x, center y. All right, let me try putting those on the base layer. Maybe that would look better. Yeah, busy with stuff, writing the newsletter for the week. I bet. Keeping you pretty busy then, huh? Okay, well, there's the flame. It's sideways, of course, so I need to move it. So for that particle, tower flames. I should really rename that to particle tower on fire. We're going to change the angle. Oops, not the anglo. to, I think 270 is upwards. And then, so let's see if that fixed it. Send in the enemies and build a tower. Oops. Yeah, now that's facing upwards, and we want that to be... So it wasn't registering this distance element, which is really odd. But for now, I'm going to just continue getting the core functionality in before I fix that. So for the core functionality, I just want the variable check. So if the condition is false, set that to true and then create the thing. So it should only happen once per tower. It's kind of slow tonight. So what are we on, Thursday? So Friday, we're almost to the weekend, people. Almost to the weekend. And if you don't work weekends, that's a good thing. If you do work weekends, sucks for you, but I appreciate your help because you're keeping the world running while the rest of us take it easy. All right, that worked. I just want to change the Z order. So I want it to be... What is the tower head Z order? Let me look at where I create the tower. That would be... Not here. Oh, up here. What I need to do is make the fire not behind the tower head. It needs to be on top of it. Tower base. Okay, I don't actually know. I don't think it explicitly says, but I could... Not even sure if the console will tell me. Let me check if it will. If not, I'll just hard code a number in there, like 500 or something. But the server is running kind of slow tonight. Very slow, I might add. All right, build a tower, send in the enemies. All right, so that is that. So let's pause. Go to the debugger, find the tower. Does it say? It does say the Z order, 300. Just like the Spartans. So let's create the flame at 301. Sorry for all the scrolling. I keep losing my place. Alright, what I want then is for each enemy. Right here. So we will create this thing. We'll change the Z order of the particle. Set that to 301. That should be right on top of the tower. Let's test that. And if all goes right, this is going to be it. Okay, that did not go right. Let me think. We needed... Oh, I think I know the issue because I was looking at the tower base. I need to look at the tower head. So let's see what that number is. And really, I'm not going to know because I think those are going to be... There are different types of tower heads. Let me see here. That is at 274. $274. So 300 is obviously more than that. Did I need to go down? 273. Maybe so. Any minute now. We need some Jeopardy music to play in the background. Does Gen Z watch Jeopardy? Is that like a boomer thing to say now? Okay, so now it's under. That is definitely not right. So let's just put a crazy number on this. Man. Small things are taking up a lot of time tonight. That's how it goes sometimes, though. That's how it goes. Like, if I want to burn my own towers down, just let me. Wow, it is not happy with that. Okay, so what could I do here? We said to put it at the position of tower base center. Well, with that being the case, I think I remember the issue. It's not a Z order issue, it's a layer issue. Okay, so it's a layer issue because the tower head is on the next layer up. But if I create the particles on the next layer up, I think it looks really bad. Let me test that. Actually, let me see what layer I'm creating those tower heads on. Those would be... Well, I need to do a preview to find out. So it's not a Z order issue. We figured that out. Just do that. Look at the debugger over here. Find the tower head. That is on the UI layer. Seems like I need to create a tower head layer instead, but okay. UI layer. Let's try that then. Just for testing purposes. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so now it's on top. I think I could probably make it a little bit bigger, but it's definitely an indicator that the tower is burning. Obviously I could add smoke. I need to do a lot, but let me just tweak that particular particle emitter real quick. So go to enemies, enemy objects, particle. I'm going to rename it as well to particle tower on fire. That way I don't confuse it with my tower flamethrower particle. And we're going to change the radius. Let's change that to about a radius of say 20. And then the particle start size. Not totally sure about that. Let's just try 32, and we can just do more of them. Something like this. Let's see how that looks. In fact, I could probably just drop one of these on the scene here. See what that looks like. Granted, it doesn't have the light source. Let me move that over to... Or actually, let me just add a light source to it. Put that on the UI layer. Yeah, that'll be fine. Got to make it look semi-like fire on the towers. So, yeah, I mean, just like kind of as a generic placeholder one for now, I think that'll work. Could add smoke. Let me see if I have a smoke. I know I have some. That's going from a red to a black. I don't remember what I'm using these for, but let me just try adding one behind it here. So this would need to be on the UI layer as well, I suppose. So go to the UI layer. I need to create a whole new layer though, to be honest. So that's at 274. This is at, yeah, that's fine. We want it below the flames themselves. Let's run that. Little flame and smoke. Oh, I forgot to tell it. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let me add a new one here. Because that one had a finite number of particles. We do not want finite. We want infinite. Smoke 4. Let's call this particle tower on fire smoke. And infinite particles. We're going to do 200 particles per second, a maximum of say 600. Spray cone angle. That's fine. Let's test that. Not sure how big these particles are, so we're going to do a little trial and error. Is it even still there? Chatting because the chat feels empty. Appreciate it. It's all good. All good. Particle start size. Let's try 20 to 30. Those can even have a little bit of random rotation as well. We'll do negative 20 to 20. You're continuing with a thumbnail for a friend. What kind of thumbnail are you working on? I can almost not even tell that I have smoke. What is going on here? Let me scroll down. Yeah, there's not one. Did I not add it to the scene? Is this a different one? I need to add it to the scene. That is the problem. There we go. All right. So let's also make sure I put that on the correct layer. That needs to be on UI. So, yeah, that will work. 273. 274. I think that's correct. The smoke needs to go below it though. That doesn't look good. Also, I would say darker. Let's go with much darker. Probably less force. Let's go with well, let's go with the same amount of force that the flame particle has, which would be sorry, I need to capture something over here real quick. Alrighty, let's change the order here. This needs to be below this other one, so it's 274. Oh, I see, 300, 301. This needs to be 299. Alright, and let's put that underneath it. I also wanted to double check for... Well, let me remove that filter. This needs to go up to the enemy folder. Right up here. And let's look at the fire particle. That's going to be 200 to 300. So let's make the smoke the same. And apply. And one other thing with the smoke. I feel like those need to end just a little bit larger. Let's try that. That seems pretty solid. A little more fire-like, so that's decent. So let's add that into the events here. So where we create the fire particle, let's also add the smoke one. And they both need to have the sticker behavior. And what else? We'll change the Z order of the smoke to 999. Although it probably won't matter since they're on the UI layer, which is a little funny. I'll need to do something about that. And, oh, I need to rotate it as well. So let's change the position of that one. And let's also get rid of this one that's on the scene. And preview. This should be it. Should be it. There we go. The towers are burning. I'll, fine tune the way it looks as I move forward, but it's definitely burning. There's no doubt about it. And that's a mission accomplished. So everyone, thanks so much for hopping in chat, keeping me company on this Thursday evening, and I'll continue again with my regular Thursday streams, but if I'm able to stream again before next Thursday, you can hit the little bell notification button thingy to be informed for when I schedule those. And if all goes well, my code won't be a dumpster fire like these towers right here. So until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your week going into the weekend. And yeah, I'll see you later. Thanks for hopping on, and until next time, I hope you have fewer bugs than I do. Thanks. Streaming every Thursday at least, but I might stream again on the weekend. So you can hit the little bell button on my channel to get those notifications.